In a small town, two brothers stand divided by a chasm of anger and resentment, the echoes of their childhood laughter now replaced by silence and bitterness. Marcus and James grew up side by side, sharing the same home and dreams. They were more than brothers, they were best friends. But when their father passed away, everything changed. The inheritance, a cherished family shop, became the battleground for their fraternal bond. Their father, in his final words, entrusted the shop to both brothers equally. "Work together, take care of each other," he had said. Yet greed and misunderstanding quickly twisted those words. Marcus, the elder, believed he deserved more. "I'm the oldest," he thought. "Tradition dictates that I should inherit more." James, the younger brother, felt differently. "I've devoted a decade to this shop while Marcus was off pursuing his own life. I've built our customer base. I deserve my due." What began as small disagreements escalated into fierce arguments, each brother convinced he was right. As the disputes grew, so did the fractures in their relationship. Legal battles ensued, dragging their family legacy into the courtroom. After 2 years of fighting, a judge's decision shattered all hope. The shop would be sold, and the profits divided equally. Both brothers lost everything, yet the wounds ran deeper than the loss. With the court's verdict, the brothers ceased all communication. They remained in the same town, crossing paths at the market or community events, but avoiding each other's gaze, pretending to be strangers. Marcus seethed with anger, convinced James was ungrateful. Every sighting of James sent his blood pressure rising. He would return home, venting his frustrations to his wife. Can you believe him, acting as if he did nothing wrong? His wife, weary of the repeated tirades, would sigh, hoping for the best. Meanwhile, James harbored his own resentment. Marcus is arrogant and entitled, he thought. Every sleepless night was consumed with replaying the court case, crafting speeches he'd never deliver. His wife urged him to let it go, but the weight of his anger anchored him. Years slipped by, 5, 10, 15, each brother trapped in a prison of unforgiveness. Marcus developed high blood pressure, his doctor warning him, "Reduce stress, your anger is killing you." But Marcus felt justified. "How can I let it?" Their children grew up without ever knowing each other. Holiday gatherings turned awkward and split. Cousins who should have shared laughter were strangers, with Marcus's kids learning to despise Uncle James, the betrayer. James fared no better, his bitterness warping his relationships. Trust was elusive, every friendship felt precarious. His marriage strained under the weight of his unresolved past. His children rarely saw him laugh, always burdened by his simmering anger. Then, after 15 long years, tragedy struck. Marcus's teenage daughter, Emma, was diagnosed with leukemia. The news shattered their family. Emma needed a bone marrow transplant, and with every test, hope dwindled. Neither Marcus nor his wife matched. Emma's siblings were also weeks passed in desperation. One evening, a doctor approached Marcus, suggesting they look to extended family. The name that loomed in the silence was James. 15 years of estrangement hung heavily in the air. Marcus faced a crossroads, pride or his daughter's. With trembling hands, Marcus drove to James's house. When James opened the door, they stood face to face for the first time in years, both older, weary. "Marcus," James breathed, stunned. "I need to talk to you," Marcus replied, his voice thick with emotion. In the living room, the tension was palpable, years of silence stretching between them. Marcus spoke of Emma, the leukemia, the urgent need for a transplant. "I know I have no right to ask, but would you get tested? See if you're a match." James was quiet for a moment and Marcus braced for rejection. But then, unexpectedly, tears filled James's eyes. "Of course I'll get tested. She's my niece. I don't need to think about it." Marcus was stunned. After years of bitterness, they went to the hospital together. During the agonizing wait for results, they began to talk, really talk for the first time since their fallout. "Why did you fight so hard for that shop?" Marcus asked. "Because I felt unseen," James replied. "I wanted to prove I mattered." Marcus absorbed James's words, realizing the depth of his brother's hurt. "I didn't fight out of greed," he confessed. "I thought I was honoring Dad's memory by upholding tradition." They shared a silence, the weight of 15 years of anger suddenly feeling trivial. "I'm sorry," Marcus said, his voice breaking. "I let my pride destroy our relationship." "I'm sorry too," James replied. "I let my hurt fester into hatred." In that moment they embraced, tears flowing freely. A release of years spent. 3 days later, the results arrived. James was a perfect match. Emma's transplant was scheduled and hope surged through their family. The procedure was a success, and while Emma recovered, Marcus and James spent hours together, reconnecting and one day in the hospital cafeteria, James reflected, "It's ironic. We lost so much over a shop that no longer exists. We spent thousands on lawyers and poisoned our families. For what?" Marcus nodded, the realization dawning on both of them. "The shop was never the issue," James mused. "It was our pride and inability to forgive that tore us apart. It took Emma's illness for us to see it." 15 years wasted," Marcus lamented. "Years I could have spent with family." James nodded. "But we have today, tomorrow." Emma recovered fully and the brothers mended their broken families. Cousins who had been strangers embraced, laughter echoing in their homes once more. 2 years later, at Thanksgiving, Emma stood to make a toast. "I want to say something," she began. "When I was sick, I didn't understand why Dad and Uncle James didn't speak. But my illness brought our family back together. It showed us that life is too precious to waste on anger." As glasses were raised in a toast to forgiveness and second chances, the brothers looked at each other, their bond stronger than ever. Years later, they opened a cafe together, aptly named Second Chances, a beacon of hope. One day, an old man entered their cafe, carrying decades of his own regret. "I haven't spoken to my sister in 20 years, he confessed. "We fought over our mother's jewelry. It seems so trivial now." Marcus and James, united in their healing, nodded, ready to inspire him towards forgiveness. She sits in the hospital, her life hanging in the balance. Thoughts swirl in his mind. What if she dies and he never gets to say he's sorry? What if he wastes his life, consumed by anger over something as trivial as jewelry? The man's heart aches. James places a comforting hand on his shoulder. "Then don't wait, don't make our mistake. We lost 15 years, don't lose 20. The man nods, tears streaming down his cheeks. "You're right. I'm going to the hospital right now." He stands, then turns back, voice trembling. Thank you for sharing your story. It might have just saved mine." As the man departs, Marcus looks at James, a glimmer of hope in his eyes. Maybe all that pain wasn't completely wasted. Maybe our story can help others avoid the same mistakes. James smiles softly. Maybe that's the redemption in all this. We can't undo our 15 years, but we can help others not. The scene shifts and a voice resonates. "My dear friends, this story is about all of us. We all have someone we haven't forgiven, a parent who let us down, a friend who betrayed us, an ex who hurt us, a sibling who wronged us, a colleague who sabotaged us. We hold onto that anger like it's a precious treasure, as if releasing it would mean they won. But the truth is stark. Unforgiveness doesn't punish them, it imprisons us. Marcus and James lost 15 years filled with family gatherings, support, love, all wasted for a shop they lost anyway. How much of your life are you willing to sacrifice? Forgiveness is not about the other person. It's about you. You're not forgiving them because they deserve it. You're doing it because you deserve peace. Remember, forgiveness doesn't mean reconciliation. You can forgive someone while keeping your boundaries intact. It's about releasing anger, not necessarily. Forgiveness also doesn't mean forgetting. It doesn't excuse their actions or label you as weak. It means refusing to let their actions dictate your life. Unforgiveness is costly. It drains your health, clouds your mind, and strains relationships. Bitterness spreads like wildfire, affecting everyone around you. It steals your present and shackles your future. You don't need an apology to forgive. Waiting for their acknowledgement only gives them power over your peace. You can choose to forgive unilaterally. Release the anger even if they never recognize their wrongdoings. Let me ask you, who still holds your anger? What burdens are you carrying? How much longer will you allow their actions to dictate? It's time to let it go, to release the poison, to forgive not for them but for you. Here's a practice. Write a letter to the person you haven't forgiven. Pour out your hurt, anger, and pain, but don't send it. This letter is for you. At the bottom, write, I release this. I forgive you, not because you deserve it, but because I deserve peace. Then destroy the letter. Burn it, tear it up, bury it. Forgiveness is often a process, not a single moment. You may need to forgive the same person 100 times before your heart catches up. But start. Choose freedom over bitterness. Choose peace over the need to be right. Remember, Marcus and James lost 15 years they could never reclaim. They were both imprisoned, holding the keys yet refused. Life is too precious to waste on anger. Forgive, not because they deserve it, but because you deserve your freedom. Thank you for being here today, for being brave enough to consider forgiveness. If this story resonates with you, share it with someone who needs to hear it, someone burdened by unforgiveness. Until next time, remember, forgiveness is the key to your own prison. Use it. The weight you carry isn't yours to bear anymore. Put it down. Goodbye for now.